Hello and welcome to Sewing Classes Debbie and me, Tanya Budina. Okay, so how do we change the color on overlocker? How do we put different color threads when we want to work on a different project? We don't really want to thread overlocker every time we change the fabric we work with. It takes quite a while. So what do? We just need to cut a thread just like that. When we cut, we need to make sure we leave enough length. See, like what I left here, I don't know, about 20 centimeters or so. Enough free thread to tie the other color. So then what we do, we take the other color bobbins, put them on, and we tie them to the end of the previous color, just like that. What we need to do, we need to take two threads together and then just tie a simple knot with two threads. See? The end of threads could be long. See, I have probably about 4 or 5 centimeters left, that's fine. But the knot itself needs to be quite small, because after that we're going to be pulling it through the system, through the needles inside of overlocker. So knots need to be quite small to go through the holes in the needles. Okay, so I'll do the other two. Right, see, so I tied them all three. Next, we need to make sure when we pull in threads through the overlocker, need to make sure the foot, presser foot of overlocker is up. See, it's up at the moment. So down. Okay, need to make sure it's up, because when foot is down, the tension of threads inside the machine is engaged. And when you will be pulling threads, you're very likely to break them because tension will be quite hard. So we lift foot if it's not up already. And then what we do, we cut this thread just above our needle here. And after that, we just pull gently, chain, kind of our old chain. Pull. If you get stuck a little bit, we pull, just help it with turning the wheel a little bit, like jiggle it a little bit, and then let us get through tight places. See? So as you can see, both knots are come out now, and the bottom two needles we have black already, and for the top one we will do separately. See, we'll put the top one through until all the color come out and we get knot through. Then we cut this knot off, and we'll thread manually the needle like we would normally do on any machine. For overlockers we have a little bit of a helping thing, like these little tweezers. So we just use them. Okay. And then when you've done that, you need your pedal. You press it, and you just chain it off the end gently, not pulling, almost like just holding it. See, we kind of chained it off, and we have new color chain here. So we'll cut all these old color threads here. So now we have all black color threaded in, and we are ready to go to overlock our skirt. Right, that is our skirt, all ready for overlocking. What I normally do first, I only overlock vertical edges. So I will overlock only those, only vertical edges. So side seams and the middle of the back seam. Not the seam, the edge of materials. I will overlock them separately, just one by one. Yeah, and also when I overlock, I will overlock it on the right side. So when I'll put it on overlocker, I'll put it right side up, so we can see that where we have marking, dot marking, that will be the wrong side, and the right side there is no marking. So when I overlock, I'll put right side up and just do those edges. To edge, the waistline edge of fabric, I don't overlock at all because it will be going inside of the waistband. There is no need to overlock. However, if you wish, you could do that. And the bottom edge of the material of your skirt, I will overlock afterwards when all pieces will be sewn together. If we are making a skirt with vent, it would be a good idea to fuse this part of the skirt, the vent part, before we do the overlock. So if you look in the pattern, there will be that part from your center back seam, all this. So we could measure how big a piece of fusing we need from your paper pattern. So it's 6.5 centimeters I have here wide, and it's nearly 25 centimeters long. So if I'll cut out quickly from some fusing material, I have here some iron-on fusing. So it's material on one side and it's like a glue on the other side of fabric. So you iron it on with a hot iron and it sticks to your fabric. So I'll check. See, this way I have a stretch fusing here. It's lightweight, so I quite like that one. Because this way the fabric we've got, it will be right weight. So see, this way it stretches, and this way it only have a little give. So cut rectangles this way from it. So we just measured, it was 6.5 by 25. So we will be fusing one side of this white, and the other side I only fuse very edge. So we'll cut out about 1.5 centimeter wide strip the same way, so it doesn't stretch so much. This way, like the same way, so it doesn't really stretch much. It has a bit of a give. And I'll fuse one side wide and the other side I only fuse with a little strip. So if you look at that skirt, our back pieces, so see, this is the right side of them because we don't have any dot marking. See, dot marking is on the wrong side. If you turn it like that, this would be the center. So you see, we have left side and the right side. So the white strip will be fusing left side, and the narrow one will be fusing the right side. Obviously we will need to put fusings on one side of the fabric from inside like that, and then we're going to go and iron it on. But just remember, the white strip is going to go on the left side and the narrow one is on the right side, on inside. Right here, see, I just positioned my fusing pieces on my back panel skirts part. See, I position the fusing on the wrong side of the fabric. See, we have dot marking, so it's the wrong side of the fabric with the glueable side of inside, so we don't glue the fusing to the iron, so to the fabric. So see, on the left side we put a wider piece, on the right side narrow one. So now we're going to fuse it. So what we're going to just like steam it down without moving the iron much, so our fusing does not move. We do like just like stamping it first, so it stay in the position we wanted it to stay, and after that you could just go over it and fuse it a bit more so it stick to the fabric very well. Okay, there we are. It's all fused. This is on the right side, you can't see nothing. It's all on the wrong side. Fuse the both pieces, and it's ready for overlocking. Right, so I'll do just one by one all our three pieces. I'm putting the right side up, see where there is no marking. concave corner. I fold fabric here so I straighten up, basically straighten up the edge so we don't have anything. And then to turn the corner, what we need to do, we need to sew to the edge of the fabric, to the very edge, leave the fold, turn, to pull it out a little bit, turn back. Then carry on from the beginning. And then when we finish this seam, I'll start on the other side straight away. See, I'm trying to not to cut too much. Just very little, just straighten up the edge. One piece done. It's like very nice neat corner here and very nice and neat round. Just to do the rest of them now. Trying to keep my fabric on the edge of the panel so we don't get too much. And then now to the corner. So sew to the very edge. Lift the needle like this so it's up. Take the foot, pull it slightly out, turn, and then put it again where the needle is. So corner is on the needle just turned. And then you start sewing like from beginning. I like fold this extra material to trying to straighten out this concave curve. If you don't have an overlocking machine yet, so if you just have your normal machine, but your normal machine has zigzag stitch, you can overlock or zigzag edge of your cutout panels on this machine. So I'm going to, because it's black on black, you're not going to see much. So I'm going to just show you, I have a scrap of calico material here. So I'm going to just show you as example on that, how it would be, or how it would need to be. See how I'm doing it? I'm just holding the fabric that way, so one point of zigzags goes into the fabric, another point goes just on outside edge of the fabric, so we do just edging of it. See this, what we've got? This is really good. Yeah, so if you don't have an overlocker, you could just use your zigzag on your machine, zigzag stitch, and do all the edges with it. Okay, so I'm going to just do the same on my black material. I left one seam overlocked on my front just to do it with the zigzag, just to show you how different or not different they're going to look. So if I just do the black one. This tension was a little bit tight with this fabric, so just like reduce the tension a little bit, so it does not pull my stitch very much. Right, see, this is a zigzag. Try to show closer if you could see. So this is how the zigzag edge look. And if you, the one we overlocked look like that. So there's not so much difference. The zigzag is definitely fine to do if you don't have an overlocking machine. Right, okay, so now we overlocked and zigzagged the edges of our material. We're ready to start sewing. So first we will do the darts. This is the next step. Only one thing I wanted to show you. See, if you zigzag like this side is, see, this one was being overlocked, it's relatively flat. This one being zigzag, so zigzag actually stretches the material a little bit, makes it a bit wavy, which is fine. However, before we start sewing side seam, it would be a good idea to flatten it, like iron it down, so our fabric is straight again. Because if we start sewing those wavy seams, it will be very difficult to put them right together. Sometimes one side could be longer than the other, and it's not because they're longer, it's because one side may have been stretched a little bit more than the other. So if you do zigzag edges of your fabric, work it with zigzag, please just flatten it down with the iron before you start sewing. Okay, so we'll do the darts. I always pin the darts before I sew them. So what I do, so you see the darts, the front one, I do inside out, so I fold it approximately on the middle of the dart, and then I pin the end like that, and then I pin the beginning and then I put a couple more pins in between. You need to make sure when you pin to pin from one side of the line to another, and they should match. Otherwise there is no point of pinning it. Right. So it will look like that before we sew. What? So I'll show you again. So if we have a dart, so if we fold it on the end point, put the pin on the end like that, and then on the other end we fold it approximately much as we can on the middle like that. So it's in the middle of the dart, and then if we put the first pin here, see if we pin in the line here, and then check if on the other side, see, it has to go through the line as well. So then we pin it, and we do all of them like this. So put the pin through the line here and just check if it's on the line. See, it's on the line on the other side. So in and check. It's fine. So this is the front one. Fold it here. So we have all our four darts now. Now we're ready to sew. So now all our darts are pinned and they're ready to sew. So we could start from the pointy end if you want. So if you do that, we need to put the needle into the very edge of fabric. It's virtually one thread away from the fold. It's very close to the fold, can you see? And then I think you don't have to lock the pointy end If you don't want to, you can do if you wish, but you don't have to. As long as you start from very point and leave about an inch end of threads. Leave them on, don't cut them. And please do take the pins out when you come to them, because the needle will hit the pin. We will have to change the needle, and we wouldn't want to change the needle every time it hits the pin. So just better take the pins out just before machine comes to it. When you will come to the other end of the dot, we do need to reverse lock it. So we locked it here, but here we didn't lock it. But see, we started from very point, and we have it, see, very close to the edge. And this is good. So we're just going to cut this thread and leave this kind of 1 inch end on it. That'll be fine. See, like, then closer to the fold you start, the nice and pointy end of the dot is going to be. Yep. Okay, just do the rest of them the same way. Now we sew the dots, we need to iron them. At first, when we sew anything, first we need to press it flat, and dots as well. So just press them flat first. And we're going to steam down the edge as well, just at the same time. I'm going to press flat all four. On the wrong side, I'm ironing, of course. And then, when they're pressed flat, we need to iron. See, back dots, this is center back. We need to iron towards the center of the back. So I'm going to from here like this. If I push a little, so I'm pulled fabric from behind slightly to make it nice and tight, so our dot would iron really flat. I'm going to show you on this side. And this is what we're trying to achieve. See, that is really nice and flat. There is no bubble on the bottom because we started sewing from very edge. If you would start sewing a little bit away from the fold edge, then you'll have a bubble on the end. See, but our that looks really nice and flat. 3 more to go. So I'm pulling slightly, bring the iron a little bit. I need to create really crisp edge. See, so nice and flat. The front dots, we need to iron towards the side seams. See, if I pull forward, we're going to iron like this. cool fabric down a little bit when you iron it. Let it cool a little bit before you lift it. See, nice and flat. I hope you enjoyed sewing with me. If you have any questions, please write me in comments and I will try to answer all of them. If you like our videos, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a like. This is it for today. Thank you for watching and see you soon for more sewing with me, Tanya Budina, and Sewing Classes Derby.